So, I hope everybody had a really cool league start. This is basically start of day 2 for me. I'm a bit late, I slept in a bit. So I think it's like 10:30 a.m. right now. But actually it is, there's even a timer here. I had a really good day 1, and including league start, so Saturday is for me, is the day 1. I hope it went really well for everybody with whatever you went. Let me know what you went for and how life was for you. Let's talk a bit about league start itself. To be fair, Poison's concoction as a leveling skill is still amazing, which makes me really happy because I really liked that specific way of leveling a character, and it was really good. To be fair, I did run 3 life flasks, so like always 3 life flasks, 2 of these quicksilver, and at some point I dropped a quicksilver, right, a bit later on, starting with Act 6, I believe, when I had shield charge and put in like a granite. And the only thing I did exactly what I have in the POB, followed it as close as possible. I took these notes here, and life flask gain 1 charge every 3 seconds. So this is the only thing sustain really I took early on. And then a Lyra. I mean, you do run out of charges at some point, and it's a bit tricky before you get to a Lyra, but only on bosses, and even there, so it doesn't really matter. It absolutely doesn't matter. That's what I took. I took a Lyra. I always take a Lyra anyway. And later on, you get the Pantheon. You get leaguestarter that also helps like on top of it, and that's the only thing I did. Obviously, like in the POB, I only went with volley and greater volley. No more projectiles than that, and it was a blast. It was really good. I think I beat my personal best on league start with like 420 in-game timer. No, it's a bit inaccurate. I was ready to kill Kitava. I mean, I didn't. I went to heist then a bit, just the contracts I had, but that for me personally was really fast. So I felt very good while having everything done. To be fair, I skipped the 2 laps. I did not do 3 laps, so that also cuts off time. So basically the same time as always, to be fair. So that was really cool. Early maps felt okay as well. That was totally fine. I spent a bit of time. I swapped into traps in mid-70s, I would say. Ideally, I would have waited a bit longer because I didn't need to swap yet, because I was still progressing wide maps. And it was okay, so I was completing Atlas. This was obviously not for rushing Atlas completion, right? Rushing up towards red maps, it's not helpful for that. But I could have stayed maybe a little bit longer. And then I swapped into traps, and I was dumb enough to forget these nodes here, right? I didn't have them, and they are really good with the trap throwing speed that is on them. So that felt a bit awkward. I'm utilizing the lucky node. So I only have spell suppression here and here actually, and obviously this part now. But yeah, trap swap itself, it was fine. It's actually okay. And obviously when I swapped, I already got my unique setups. I got the obliteration wand. If you search for the wand, it's a bit tricky right now. It's an imbued wand, but the trade side still lets you search for a demon horn, and it doesn't show up. So the base changed. So also, yeah, that's a bit confusing. So if there are no wands, it's an imbued wand now. It was 1C when I bought it. It's all within the first day. So prices might have changed now. But it was 1C. I've seen this immediately pop up at 12C, and I bought it at 6. Just 5-6 hours later, like real-time hours later. It was easy. I got a 150 plus. 143 seems to be enough. Helmet also for 2 or 3C because it was a bit nicer one. Got this one actually gifted from a friend, which is really cool because he had one, he found this thing, didn't need it. So that was nice. Got a 5 link, and I essence crafted it. The Minx Heart was still 13C for me. So that was the expensive piece, essentially. Might be cheaper now as well. And every other piece was maximum 1 or 2C if I even bought it. I don't remember which exactly one I bought and which one I still had. So yeah, that's basically that. I only have a life flask right now. But what I already did And I think that's really helpful. It's like one of the basic concepts I also try to bring across in the POB thing so other people can do it, is I immediately went ahead and made sure that this amulet has the right amount of intelligence and strength. And this also has the right amount of strength. I think here it's a minimum of 61. It's also in the POB, it's in the note, the exact numbers. I did that right away, immediately. And that means that I will be able to equip the 188 wand, obviously, but whatever other gear pieces I change, as long as I don't change these two, I will have no attribute issues. I will always have minimum of 188 intelligence and actually 155 minimum strength. I have less now, you realize, but that's just because I'm missing the strength node, and I will get the strength node. With this node and these equipped pieces, I will always have enough strength to never worry about attributes again. And I think that's really helpful. It's really important for me for progression and to feel good. So I don't need to, like, I don't know, want to change an item. Like this one has intelligence, right? But I made sure if I change it for some reason, I still have enough intelligence, and it doesn't cock myself. So that's basically the idea. Other quality of life things, I already immediately got for 2 chaos, like a corrupted blood jewel. I mean, the armor helps a bit, but I didn't care. It's just anything. I just don't want to deal with corrupted blood. And that's also because I want to do essence. Like my initial strategy is going to be essences. So yeah, I got 1. Just any. I don't want to deal with that. And I think that's it. Basically, that's like initial setup. And this gear is exactly the gear I swapped into the boots node. I updated the boots after trap swap, but everything else is exactly what I had when I swapped into traps. I also did the allocation, like the anoid, which is very cheap. I just upgraded the boots a bit later because I needed more sockets, and what I'm missing right now is the castment damage taken setup, because I haven't figured out the sockets yet, and at the point in time I was really low on like coloring currency. Right now I could fix it, but it doesn't really matter. And in terms of progression, I'm done with half the progression. So far I have not pushed into red maps on purpose right now, because I do not have, I mean, it's wonky here now anyway, but I don't have enough spell suppression to do so, and I would like to have a bit more levels ideally, and I don't need to. Like a big part of my idea for this league initially is to farm essences in low tier maps. So that's also why I have this wonky tree here, right? Everything is blocked. I have stream of consciousness. I unallocated some of the shaping things after the progression, like I had these 2 as well to progress and get to this 60 plus state, and I have allocated all the other things. And what I do right now is I go ahead and throw this in here and just run the maps. I'll show you an example map, which hopefully doesn't take too long. And I didn't put essence on it, did I? Oh god damn it. Okay, let's retry this. Oh, there's maps. Actually, I need maps. There's a lot of maps. Let me get the maps real quick, and then we retry this. God damn it. I mean, it doesn't really matter. We take any. And I want essence on it. That's bad. Just white maps, right? I don't know if you need to roll them. Is there any difference if I roll the maps a little bit? Like, make them magic in terms of getting more essences? I don't think so. Maybe a bit map sustain, but we're not killing that much anyway. So I'm mostly killing for frenzy charges here. And plus charges. This is not the best map. Yeah, I really want like a map like Dunes is cool. Anything where it's easy to find all the essences that are left on the map. Oh, there's one. Alright, so you just go here. That's a bad one. But still fine. Not on your stuff, they die. And then you just move on. Why are there no essences? Oh, no. It's the worst example ever. Come on. They gotta be hiding somewhere. I mean, I know there are at least 4 essences in this map somewhere hidden. Maybe they're at the start. There's one more. Obviously, there's no way to see if there's any on-death effects or not. I currently ignore this thing in low-tier maps. Like here we have a very fancy thing, even though, yeah, you can just upgrade it. Oh, now it has all the purple ones. Obviously, with these really big essences, you want to be a bit more careful. And then, yeah, you click all the things, and I'm gonna finish the map in a second. But that's the basic idea, right? And rinse and repeat. Just farm essences, bulk sell the essences to generate some currency, and then, yeah, we just made a little bit of currency out of a white map just by investing this. Obviously, you need to get to quite high tree. So, regarding this weird new league mechanic, I dabbled a bit with it. I have one of these, but it removes a tree. So, yeah, that seems useless right now, but I'm gonna keep it. I found one of these on an item that lets you store experience for other items, so that's cool, I guess. And where is it? Is it here? I found the seismic node, and I actually didn't realize before. I actually thought the seismic node would be insane because I thought it's like increased cooldown recovery +1 use of your traps, but it's -1 use of the traps, which I think is still good. Maybe need to try this, but I was really disappointed when I got it in game. And there's also one that has like 50% increased cooldown recovery and -2 cooldown. That's insane. That's crazy. So I don't know. We have to see. Maybe it's good. It's probably good in not for initial burst, but maybe for general moving boss gameplay. I need to try. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's actually bad. Who knows? I found one other thing, and that's one of these. And it's a near miss, I would say. I got excited orb. So yeah, that's pretty much the only thing I got out of this mechanic so far. I've seen some other interesting things, but really bad downsides on it. I'm actually not sure, did they ever mention in the live stream or so that there will be downsides? I completely missed that. I thought it's just upside. You just get some cool things. And I completely missed that this is basically Scourge League again. I had no idea. That made me really disappointed a bit. So yeah. And now, I don't know, I'm just fishing I just have some items here, I just throw them in randomly, but I'm not gonna do this during Essence Farm, because Essence Farm is Essence Farm and it's low tier stuff. It just takes too long, it's annoying. However, in terms of the build for it, to be fair, it doesn't feel too bad. It seems okay. Interesting about it, if you don't full channel, right? Channel to the point where it actually breaks itself, you have a grace period, right? You stop channeling, you can lay down all your traps, and it only starts when you step out of the ring. So that's really cool in preparation. And even if you full channel, then ideally, I mean, then it's starting quite quickly. But if you just make sure to start with essentially a trap down, so you're blind, that's important. Get your flask going and get your curse stuff going. With later with the brand, you can actually lay it down. Anyway, so they have temporal chains, you have your flasks going, and they are blinded. Get a bit on the side of this whole arena thing, so they're not all converging in on you, and then get your traps down. It's actually working pretty well, and at least in lower maps up to tier 10s I did. And in this gear so far, I was able to fully channel tier 10s, but depending on the monsters, I was able to die, definitely able to die there, because of the spell damage, I think. Because it was just spells basically killing me. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the build and the channeling. So I feel like it can handle very, very high channeling. Like a lot of other builds probably can too. But the area feels good, the size feels good there. It's easy and nice to cover with a few seismics, so I'm pretty happy about that. Let's see if it's worth it later in higher maps. But yeah, that's so far from this thing. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna ignore it for quite a while until I'm in red maps, I believe, and then I will see what to do with it and see what we get out of it. That's all I wanted to talk about, I think. So yeah, I'm happy progressing along. I stopped progressing, actually, that's what I did. I stopped progressing for now. I will do essences and then see what to do next, see how long I want to do essences, depends on profitability and how fun it is, because at some point I'm gonna burn out on it. And then see what to do next and in the future. And I'm thinking about obviously progression and doing things here, or maybe even going or looking towards überbossing as second or third currency method. However, for that would be a different character. I'm not going to make this into an überbosser because that's way too expensive. That's possible way cheaper with different things. So I'm thinking about a 2-character setup this league. Right. One thing I wanted to talk about, and I wanted to bring up real quick, Diadem. Right, I'm not logged in now. Whatever. Yesterday when I checked, it was at like the correct ones, the ailment ones, was at like four divines, right? So I don't know. Last time I checked, rarity hasn't changed significantly. It doesn't seem to be a chase item or anything. So it's, I don't know. Nothing changed with Diadem if I see it correctly. And yeah, that's that. Right. Okay, cool. I'm gonna open Essence now forever. Still the white map from earlier, and it's not about the monster strength right now, but just in terms of coverage, I wanted to show you, like, if you, let's say you channel until it actually breaks. Right, so you throw down some stuff. Like, they all kind of come into this whole seismic situation. Even in these low maps, actually, these monsters are somewhat dangerous. Okay, there one was running away. Yeah, so like the general area the seismics cover without spreading them accordingly it's pretty good. Did you get anything? Nonsense. What is this? Arrow dancing? Some keystones? Who knows? No currency. Sad times. Yeah, so the area is kind of cool. I kind of like that.